I've recently started working with plaster. It's a new thing. I've never done plaster before. And I had a beautiful lady come to me and ask me to make her something for her daughter who passed away last year. And I took a couple weeks and put a lot of heart into making something for her daughter. Now, I've been an artist all my life and I work with multi-mediums, but I've never done plaster before. It was a new avenue for me. So when I originally made this piece of artwork, it was intended to be a practice piece. It was always intended to be a practice piece. But as I started making it and started painting it, I was really happy with the results and the appearance and how it was coming along. And I had put a ton of work into it. We painted it with glow paint. We painted it with blacklight paint. It was 3D with the plaster. You had all the flowers at the bottom, the wings, the butterflies, just a whole lot of 3D action going on here. And it was really something cool that I've never done before that I was really proud of. But there's also a lot of improvements that can be made. After all, it is my very first plaster piece. The very first piece ever that I've done using this medium. So there were a couple things that I didn't like the way that they turned out. For one, we did the wings. When I was doing the wings, like I said, it was an experiment. I was learning along the process. So the wings were different from each other. Like one wing is a little bit smaller than the other one. And I really wasn't thrilled with the way that that looked right from the get-go. You can kind of see here how this wing's different than that wing. But again, it was a learning process, and I learned a lot in the making of the wings on how to do wings and how to do feathers. And, like I said, I think it came out really, really cool. But the wings overhanging the canvas are a problem. It makes them weak, and it makes it easy for the wings to fall off, and that's a problem. I'm also not happy with the way that the plaster sits on the canvas. So this has been a huge learning experience for me. I have decided to completely redo her artwork. So I had a long discussion with her last night. We talked about what I was going to do. Little bit concerned about shipping because the next one's going to be a lot bigger and a lot better. So we went last night and we got a huge piece of plywood. And we're actually going to be doing the next angel on a piece of plywood, which is going to make it so much more sturdy. And it's going to make it to where it's structurally sound. Now, I also got some better tools to cut the chicken wire so that we can make sure that the wings are absolutely perfectly even the next go around. I also formulated a better process for making the body, which is going to make the body look a lot more atomically correct on the next go around. There were a little bit of things that I just wasn't happy with the way that it all came together. But again, this was my very, very first plaster piece. And for it being my first plaster piece, I'm so proud of it. And I'm actually glad that I get to keep my first one and redo it and make it even better for my client. And because I love her so much, we're also going to do a wood burn for her. So she's going to get the best of both worlds. No parent should ever have to go through losing a child. My heart goes out to her. This is the least that I can do. If I could bring her back, I would. I love you, Justice. And for all the haters, I would love, love to see you give this plaster work a try. And let's see what you can do. I'll wait. Jealousy is very ugly. But you don't hurt my confidence when 2 weeks ago, when you were my friend, you thought my art was the best art you'd ever seen. But then we get into a little argument over something that has nothing to do with art, and now all of a sudden I'm a terrible artist. Your insults are weak. You need a better game. You know who I'm talking to, and y'all know who I'm talking about. And them bitches, they can fucking stay salty. So I've